Hello, adventurer! There's nothing more that brings me joy than a brand new episode of my favorite podcast. But I always do need a refresher, so let's find out what happened last time on The Incorrigible Party. Hearing talks of a blue light originating from within the Paladin camp, Mia and Falzaren decide to investigate its potential source. Directed towards Samuel's tent, they attempt to sneak in and find the light's source, only to come up empty-handed. It is not long after returning to their own tents that Captain Silas arrests the pair, under the suspicion of playing a part in the deactivation of the tower. And now the harrowing adventure continues.
And separate. Separate and alone.
Yes, you've been separated. So I will take Mia. I'll take Elena first.
This is preposterous. Whatever happened to the justice system?
Innocent until proven guilty.
Mia, you're in here for at least an hour left alone before the door to this room finally opens. And a paladin that you have never seen before steps in, followed by Samuel. Samuel doesn't say anything to you right away. He just allows the paladin to begin to cast. And they do, in fact, cast, or attempts to cast on you, a zone of truth.
Called it. Nothing to hide.
So, if you want to try to resist, you can make the charisma saving throw. If you would like to just intentionally fail, that's also a possibility.
No, I'll fail. I'm not going to fight it.
So, an affected creature, as Mia would well know, is aware of the spell and can thus avoid answering questions to which it would normally respond with a lie. Such a creature can be evasive in its answers, as long as it remains within the boundaries of truth. The paladin that cast the zone will leave, and you are now left alone with Samuel. Where did Shaft and Shakar go?
Samuel, you have to believe me. I have no idea. No clue. Like, zero idea what happened. Like I told you, I thought maybe it was you. I think it's Isabella. Like, I don't know.
Why did they leave the camp?
Again, I don't know. Like, Shaft only would leave for his own interests. He's a selfish man. Shakara, she's got one of the eyes we mentioned. Like, anything could have happened. She could have gone to Izzy.
Who do they know in Drukal?
Shakara, no one. Shaft is from Drukal. There was an orc named Horik with him. Horik seems to be missing too. Let me see. They know, both of them know this person named Killian. Shaft knows someone named Kepley. We met a guy named Kepley. There's Killian. There's Kepley. There's a guy in Drukal named Lag that he's aware of. There's a guy named Detmer that hasn't been seen in a while. I think Hannah's out of the picture, so... there's a Darkling in the theater named Jolvi. We're all friends with him. I don't really know anyone else in Drukal. That's it. Shaft is very secretive. I don't know anything. I didn't go anywhere. I slept last night.
I have no doubt that physically you were in the camp. Well, this happened.
What happened?
The tower has been shut down.
What? How? Is that... Wait, you think we did this?
I believe that is a possibility. You and Falzaren are colluding with Shaft and Shakara.
Well, yeah, they're our friends, but they ditched us. I have nothing to do with this, and I don't even know that they would either, honestly. Why would they... Other than Shakara, I guess, for the eye.
You still believe Shakara is loyal to you?
I've been wrestling with it today. Obviously, they left us as soon as she got the eye.
Both she and Shaft told me, and you, and Falzaren, that they would be here with us to fight the Neogi, even after Shakara was given the eye.
Sure, I mean, they could come back. It could just be a quick trip somewhere. I don't know. I want to trust Shakara, Samuel. I have a question for you. If that's allowed.
What is it?
I've heard rumors of a blue light coming from your tent last night. What else glows blue than the thing that powers the towers? Did you power down the tower last night? Or have anything to do with it?
Are you a fool? You ask me that? When I bring you in to reprimand you for the exact thing that I'm accusing you of? You believe that I am colluding with your friends?
Oh, I didn't. It's nothing to do with them, but... Samuel, you can trust me. I had nothing to do with this. But the fact that blue light was coming from your tent is suspicious. So if you don't know where it was coming from, they were definitely in your tent last night, whoever took the eye. I don't know what they would want from your tent.
You told me that they have stolen from me. Information has been withheld from me.
And none of that's my fault.
It is one thing to associate with those willing to bend or break their morality. And it is another to allow them to influence you into breaking your own. And I believe that is what happened.
I didn't do anything. You have to believe me. You know I'm telling the truth right now. I slept last night. I woke up confused. I'm just as confused as to why the blue light would come from your tent. I just had to ask, Samuel.
I do not know why this light, as you say, would have been coming from my tent.
Me either. Let's figure it out together.
How? Why would you know that the light was from my tent in the middle of the night, of which you had just said you were here remaining in your tent?
I heard things this morning.
From
when I was
who?
eating lunch. I didn't get their name. There were paladins discussing the fact that they saw blue light from your tent last night. It wasn't me. I was sleeping. What else have I heard? I've heard... I don't know. I haven't heard anything. I know nothing, Samuel. Listen, I'm so dedicated to our cause. My friend Thuft, you have him detained as well. Thuft the Younger. I have him under my spell. He's under the Gia spell. He's sworn to always tell me the truth and to be my friend. We were going to track down these bodies. We were going to conquer the Nyogi. I was planning to go to your cave and to be part of the planning. You've got to believe me. You know I'm under the spell. I can't lie to you. I know nothing about this.
You're right. The Zone of Truth does exonerate you.
We came willingly. I'm innocent. I didn't want to run. Makes me look guilty. We did nothing wrong.
He sighs, and this whole time, his fists have kind of been clenched, right? And he finally releases
Mine are too.
his hands, right? Yeah, exactly. And there's a very brief moment where he looks just exhausted.
Yeah.
I need to speak with Falzaren.
Hey, again, he's my friend, but sometimes friends don't tell me everything because I'm so truthful, about the weapons, that they don't trust me with information. So, again, I don't know any more than what I'm telling you right now. Please don't hold it against me if Falzaren does know something. And, again, I think Thuft is going to comply and be our friend in this. He's our best shot.
Well, by the sounds of it, he would comply to you. And you alone.
Yeah, but I'm with you, so... Us.
I don't believe that this goblin can be taken at his word.
Okay. I'm gonna do the best to keep him in line. I'm sorry the tower's powered down. That changes things a lot. Unless was your armor glowing at night or anything like that? Your armor has nothing to do with Dendar, right? It is weird it was aging you, right? So,
There are many things I do not understand about this armor.
I know Falzaren and I were going to try to investigate and figure out why it's doing that. Do some reading.
You don't understand what it is to be part of a company, do you? To be a soldier.
No. I've kind of been on my own for a while now.
I'd suggest you get used to taking action when asked to do so.
Okay. What do you want me to do?
You say you were ready with Falzaren to investigate into matters that concern me, without consulting.
Consulting what?
Without consulting me.
Well, I mean, we were gonna see what we found out and then tell you, like, it wasn't secret.
That is secretive.
Okay, I won't hold any secret.
And what if you found something that you did not like? What then? What would have been your course of action?
It's not about what I like, it's about good and evil, right and wrong. I think you understand me on that.
I think you understand that there is much gray in between.
Oh, I see more black and white than my friends, that's for sure.
I believe that I have done things that I regret. And I believe that there are things yet to be done that I will regret. I had no choice but to chain you and Falzaren.
I've been there before myself. I regret many things. I haven't been able to be there or do anything when my friends need me. Can I be honest with you about something else? In the spirit of honesty and openness, when Falzaren died, we made an agreement with the Neogi god to bring him back.
What does that mean?
That's again, wouldn't do this knowingly, but Thuft, the younger, he said he could bring Falzaren back, so he said some things and waved his hands, and Falzaren was alive again, and apparently Shaft and Shakara and I are in debt to some Neogi god, and I'm really troubled about it. I'm telling you out of just the agreement to be truthful with you. I respect you and trust you. I don't know what they want from us. They haven't asked anything from us. I regret it. I could have taken his body and resurrected him the next day or something. I could have healed him with the power of Thor instead of reaching out of desperation to some goblin I've never heard of and some god I despise. I'm really sorry, but I just figured I'd tell you. I hang my head.
I appreciate the honesty, despite you not having much choice. You bring this into my camp, you are a liability.
I guess.
You've brought nothing but liabilities. Shaft and Shakara are liabilities. They are weaknesses. You devote yourself to this cause of fighting and ridding Aspara of the Neogi, yet you continue to consort with liabilities.
That's the thing, I'm guilty. Falzaren did nothing wrong, he was dead. I can take him, we can go. I don't see any other way. I want you to trust me, but I don't blame you if you don't.
I want mutual trust between the two of us.
I mean, I trust you. The blue light, sure, it was coming from your tent, doesn't mean it was you. It just means whoever took it was rummaging around or something in the night. I don't know.
If it was the armor, then that means I am potentially a liability as well.
Right, so what do we do?
I believe that giving Shakara the Eye of Dendar was a fatal mistake that I made, despite agreeing to do so. I believe that if I had refused, she would have attempted to take it by force. She made it as clear as day that she would. That would have resulted in her death. Now, she and Shaft and this Horik have clearly taken the second eye. An eye that I had agreed to give her.
I mean, maybe.
There is no maybe.
It could have been anyone else, no?
We found a set of 3 tracks leading to the tower.
Were they halfling and orc and hexblood tracks?
I don't believe that a child would be strolling through the light of the tower's effects. Do you?
Probably not, right? Okay, so 3 tracks. So you thought it was me, Falzaren, and Thuft?
Like I said, I do not doubt that the 3 of you were here in the camp last night. But that did not mean that your infiltration into the camp was under some other guise.
Hey, it really, really wasn't. We barely made it back with our lives. Listen to what Silas has to say, read his reports. I mean, I've been trying everything to get here with the armor. I've been trying everything to get what you needed and to give you the power to get rid of these Neogi. I've devoted my life to it. You don't need the Zone of Truth to know that. I'm not lying.
I don't believe that you are, Mia. I don't quite know what to do with you now.
I'm at your mercy, Samuel. Let me help. I supposedly owe some debt to some god that he might call at the worst time, but I think I can do some good in the meantime, and maybe we could defeat that god before he calls in his favor.
I still want and need your help, Mia.
Good, I want to help. Please let me.
He kind of walks over to you and undoes the shackles on your wrists and your ankles.
If you really want to know where Shaft is, I can get there, but after tonight, I can't. And I'll explain to him how I'm attuned to the shackles of shackling and how I could put myself where they are and understand that side of the situation, send him a message or something, but I can't, teleport back. That my attunement will come up tonight type thing.
He, kind of pauses to think for a second.
It's a lot to think about.
I don't believe that you'd be successful in persuading them to hand over the eyes. If this armor is connected to them, I believe it is best that we have them all in our possession and no one else's.
Right, so maybe giving away the eye has progressed the aging or something?
I do not know, but I have my finest tracking Shaft and Shakara. Following them is difficult with the weather conditions.
Where did they go?
They've headed west, towards Drukal.
Okay. 3 footprints, and they left. They weren't taken. It didn't look like there was some sort of fight or anything?
There was most certainly a fight at the tower.
What do they do? Samuel, you gotta believe me. I feel betrayed. I don't know anything of this, so...
When they're found, and they will be, I have instructed my guards to offer them the chance to hand over the eyes of Dendar. If they refuse, they will die. If you believe that you can persuade them against violence, that perhaps it is a chance worth taking. But I will not command you to do so. I do not believe they're still on your side. I do not believe that they consider you to be their friend. And I do not believe that you would be out of danger should you do this.
You won't command me, but do you want me to try? It's not that far away, but...
I know you are not a soldier, and perhaps treating you as if you were is incorrect. So I will not give you a command in this regard. If you wish to risk it, then do so. If you wish to remain here and come with me and my forces into the mountains, then do so. But like I said, they will be found. If they are in the city of Drukal, they will be found. If this Kepli and Lag know of their whereabouts, they will be found.
I want to stay. I want to fight. The Neogi is what I'm here for. They left me. I'm not gonna bother. Pains me to say so. Like I said, I still would say they're my friends. I'm gonna stay.
I understand what sacrifice is and how necessary it to be. I am not surprised that you have the strength to do so.
The Nyogi is not a selfish problem. It's a selfless choice. It's Aspara. It's my family. It's everybody. It's in everybody's good, not just my own interests. You have your best guys on it. I guess they'll have their opportunity. Appreciate you listening to me and believing me. I've never meant to keep anything from you. I've probably told you more than they wanted me to tell you.
That is a fact that I am well aware of. I knew the type of character that Shaft was when I first offered you employ in Heracleon. Perhaps I set myself up for this. And perhaps I underestimated Isabella's influence.
Well, one thing at a time. The battle here, the battle now. And then, like I said, I'm against Isabella as well.
Good. Retrieving the eyes will also mean that she does not get her hands on them.
Again, theft is on our side for now. I think I've got him on our side. He's gonna tell me the truth, and if I'm with him when we're talking and inquiring, information, he's going to tell us the truth.
You must be the one to question him directly, for him to avoid lying.
I do believe so. I should have worded it differently. I asked him to always tell me the truth and be my friend. So yeah, we'll be an item for now.
There is one last question I have for you. What do you propose I do with Grimby, Hulsa, Dreg, and your brother?
And where are they?
They have been relegated to running additional supplies to here from my keep down south, after we were unable to recover the majority of what was taken from us.
My brother can be trusted. Hulsa is a follower of Shikara, part of her little family. Grimby is loyal to Shikara as well. Dreg Shikara's really had her claws into these guys. If Shikara were to be in contact with them, I think they'd be loyal to her. Dreg is a friend of Falzaren's, if there's any benefit to that. I would say keep them on normal duties and assume they know nothing. Maybe keep eyes on them, and if they were to wander or do anything suspicious, they could be doing errands for Shikara. I don't know.
Grimby commands a large number of paladins, part of his crew.
Mm-hmm.
He's been entrusted with a very valuable and powerful piece of equipment in the airships.
Right.
I don't believe I can leave him in charge of it. That is one liability that I am not going to leave to fester.
Yeah. Samuel, I do actually agree with that. Just like myself, I just can't be left in control of something too powerful like that ship. Owing a favor to a god, or Grimby being in touch with Shikara, maybe make it not obvious, in case they haven't heard from Shikara, just to sort of, I don't know, you don't have to arrest them, in my opinion.
The hint of a smile as you say that. Then they must be cast out.
Totally? I mean...
If Captain Grimby is not here to pilot an airship, I have no other use for him.
I don't want it to be my decision. And Braun, he's a good guy. He could come work with us. He could go to the mountains. I don't think that Hulsa has much love for me. But Grimby, Dreg, they know Falzaren and they could help. In other ways.
Let me think on this. I will make my decision by the end of the day. I must speak with Falzaren.
Understandable.
Should his answers differ at all from yours, there will be consequences for him.
Yeah, I mean, we stayed in different tents, so I mean... Hell if I know what was going on last night. Thor if I know, you know? Oh, Thor. Alright.
I assure you this will be the last time I arrest you. Should I have a question for you in the future, I will be direct and ask you myself before taking hostile action.
Right, I have nothing to hide, so... Again, not gonna run, I'm not guilty, so, you know... I won't leave you hanging. Nyogi is my priority. Always has been. I appreciate you listening to me. Please be gentle with Grimby and Dreg. And Braun. I don't care about Hulsa.
Hey, okay. I mean, he'll give you a nod, and we'll leave. I mean, you're obviously free to
Get my
leave,
stuff back.
this room.
All right.
Yeah, you will get your belongings back from one of the escorting paladins, and you see that a few of these structures down, Samuel goes into another one of these rooms.
If I can just wait around, I'm not gonna go wander too far from where they're being interrogated. So,
Falzaren, you chained and bound to this chair in this little room. You're waiting for over an hour, and finally, Samuel enters. Quickly followed behind him, another paladin of cultists that you do not recognize. And without saying a word to you, this paladin begins to cast a spell, a Zone of Truth spell. So, you have a choice. You can make a charisma saving throw to try to resist its effect. Or you can choose, if you want to choose to just fail and succumb to the effects of it, you can do that. But should you be affected by it, you're aware of its influence, and you can't lie. You can be evasive in your answers as long as it kind of remains within the boundaries of the truth, but you can't out and out lie about something.
Oh boy. To Falzaren's understanding, and therefore Kay's understanding, if I resist and pass my save, is the spellcaster aware that happened?
Yeah.
So there's no... Okay. If I were to cast Counterspell, they would also be aware of that as well.
Right. And again, you are bound as well. Not gagged, but...
Yeah, so only verbal spells are castable by me right now.
That's right.
I honestly don't know what to do. Well, I think Kay doesn't suspect that his cover is blown. There's a good chance the questions that are going to be asked may not come anywhere near that subject. If I choose to fail and have the effects of this spell cast on me, I still have my wits about me, and if a question were to arise that I didn't want to answer, I could then, obviously I can't lie, but I could still make other actions.
Yeah, that's right. You're not compelled to tell the truth, you just simply can't lie. Or at least speak a deliberate lie is actually the text of the spell, right? You could be unaware that you're telling a lie, right? But so it doesn't prohibit that kind of thing, but...
I can't say something that I know to be untrue.
Right.
I am going to permit the spell to affect me.
And the paladin casting the spell will give Samuel a nod, and he will leave the interrogation room. Why did Shaft and Shakara leave the camp?
Well, Samuel, firstly, I don't know. I feel like this is a bit excessive use of force, but that aside, I can say I don't know why Shakara left. But Shaft did leave me a note, which I wanted to keep it to myself out of sort of obligation to Shaft, but The note that Shaft left me said that he had some sort of information about a previous love of his, this woman. He didn't tell me much more than that, but he urgently needed to leave, presumably to rescue her, or I don't know the specifics, but that is what he told me. Shakara, I have no idea why she is gone. I could guess that perhaps she saw Shaft leaving and pursued him, but I don't know. She didn't tell me anything and hasn't contacted me since she's left.
Who do they know in Trakal?
Well, Shaft knows someone by the name of Detmer. Shaft also knows the other sort of, I don't know what you would call them, Henna and Lag. My understanding is the city is sort of divided up amongst the three of them. And he knows all of them to a degree.
Who is Kepley to them?
Well, Kepley is another halfling. As far as I'm aware, Kepley has some sort of business or shop where you can go and have things stored that you want to keep safe.
Did you speak to anybody last night after retiring to your tents?
I went to sleep. Shaft. I snuck into my tent and left a note, but I never spoke to him. Shakara, I have no idea. I didn't see her or speak to her throughout the night. Woke up in the morning and she was gone.
How do you feel about the debt Mia owes a Neogi god?
I can't know exactly if Mia intends to repay it or not, but from my understanding, an exchange was made, which was a very costly favor, essentially, and sometimes it is fair to ask something in return for that.
Do you know why I have arrested you and Mia?
Well, I did have a bit of knowledge before you arrived. Mia had said that she was told we are suspected of stealing one of the sources of this blue light. Other than that, I'm at a loss if there are any other reasons.
How devoted to the cause of ridding Aspara of the Neogi are you? What lengths will you go to aid myself and my paladins?
Samuel, I'll be honest, as I'm sure you're aware I must be. I have every intention to be a part of this cause up until the mountains, finding whatever we may find in the mountains. But truth be told, I'm not completely sure I'm willing to give my life for this cause. I have had a very long and exhausting journey since I've left Heraklion, and you know, the Falzaren that left Heraklion, part of him just would like to return there and forget about all of this.
I see. Mia assured me that you too had nothing to do with the tower.
That is true.
I'm inclined to believe her. And you. But I'll tell you what I told her. Shaft, Shakara, and Horik will be found. They will be given one chance, one opportunity to relinquish the eyes of Dendar. Should they refuse, they will die.
Well, thank you for telling me, and I hope I have satisfied all of the inquiries you were hoping to make of me. As you're aware, I cannot lie.
I don't believe satisfaction is what I'm feeling right now. But I don't believe there is anything else that you can offer me currently.
Well, I think we both want to get into these mountains and get into these caves. And if I can help you in any way, I am more than willing to use my power to aid in your cause. So, before Samuel leaves, I think because we are alone, Kay is going to attempt to use some of his magical abilities on Samuel while there are no witnesses. So, he has an ability which is called Enhanced Enslave, whereby I can target one creature and they need to make a DC 20 Wisdom saving throw or be magically charmed by me for 1 week. So I am going to target Samuel with this.
Okay. 18.
Oh boy. For 1 week, Samuel is charmed. He'll obey my commands. I can telepathically communicate with him within 10 miles. Anytime he does take damage, though, he can repeat the saving throw with disadvantage, and which would end the spell's effect if he's successful.
Okay. Okay. So, as you do this, I mean, it is a better version of what Falzaren and the rest of the party have seen the Neogis do, obviously, right? And as you do this, it's like it's nothing that you invoke like a spell, right? It's essentially a mental ability as you impose your will, or you attempt to impose your will upon Samuel, and you can feel him fighting back, and it's like as if he's pushing against a door, right, and bracing himself against it, and you as Kaklach on the other side pressing your own weight and body and force of will into it, and it just like as if the door is slowly beginning to open under your own pressure until it gives and your will floods into this mind room, overtaking Samuel's. What command would you like to give him?
That's a huge question.
Is there, it could be something simple like if there is a specific course of action that you want him to take like immediately. Otherwise, like you said, within the confines of the camp, no matter where the two of you are within the camp, you are able to telepathically give him commands.
Kay is going to issue the first of perhaps many commands to Samuel.
Now, Samuel, I think we really need a full day today to continue laying out our plans for the mountains. Those mountains can be very dangerous for those underprepared. Would hate for there to be losses. Yes, I think we'll stay in camp today and get a good rest tonight. And Samuel, I would very much like to meet with you and one of your generals very early in the morning tomorrow, before dawn. It's very important that it's just the three of us, you see. This must be a secret. I have so many plans for the Paladins. I really can't wait to get some of them started tomorrow morning. That will be all, Samuel.
In this kind of mind room, right, I'm just like picturing like Kakla in his full form towering over a splayed Samuel cultist, right? And as we kind of like move out of this like thought palace, Samuel like is physically like he's as if he's like shut down, right? He's just like standing like stark still, blank expression, and then suddenly he starts to move again and looks to you and says, "As you wish." Unshackles you and exits the interrogation room. And that's our show. For more Aspara information, visit incorrigibleparty.com, where you can find all of our social media links, Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook, as well as our Patreon. Our patrons get exclusive content like blooper reels and patron-only mini-campaigns. Our theme music was created by Josh Jarvis. For any of your musical needs, you can contact him at jamesmercymusic@gmail.com. Well, the rest of our sounds and music throughout our plays provided by tabletopaudio.com. And of course, our show sponsor, Critical Hit Design. For your design needs, visit criticalhitdesign.com. Happy adventuring.